Today I have Jaylin.
Hey, what
Also,
up?
like, I don't think anyone knows this, but we're neighbors.
Bro, we live like
We were just talking
actually
about this.
less than 100 feet. Like
No, fully, we're across the street.
Across the street, yes.
It's so funny, which is crazy because we like never get to see each other.
Yeah, I always like look out when I'm driving, be like, I wonder if I'm gonna see Easton.
Yes.
Yeah, but I never see you.
But why don't you give yourself like a little introduction?
What's up? It's Jaylin back in the cut. From Nashville, Tennessee, season 18. So you think you can dance?
Hey.
Been dancing since I was like 6, but didn't take it serious till I was like 12. But now we're here. You feel
Now
me?
we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
I love
yes.
that. What was this challenge called? I forget.
The movie challenge?
Yeah. Like the movie film
Eesh.
challenge week, which was honestly like a pretty like fun week.
That was a cool, because I wasn't expecting that to be a challenge at all.
Yeah. We got to do our piece together.
Yeah, that
So it
was
like
lit.
2 trios because there was only 6 of us.
Yes.
So
And
it
that was the first challenge we did together, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
well, first and last.
Oh wait, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, facts.
So it was me, you, and Madison.
Yes, the 3.
Yeah.
That's a small number. Now I think about it, like that's actually so crazy that it was 3 and 3.
Like
yeah.
the props and stuff. We had like a whole couch.
The couch was definitely, it wasn't a trio because we had the couch. The
You're
couch
so
felt
right.
like a whole person.
You're so
Yo,
right. Yeah. And then we had Chris Scott.
Yeah, shout out Chris. Yeah.
And then Jamal did the other piece.
Yeah.
Which was like props to so you think like
Yo.
them bringing them in was like
they brought
fire.
in. Yeah, they was bringing in some hitters. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, like Jamal and Chris, like that's a double homicide.
that's
Like
so
they
good. No,
both,
literally.
double homicide. They both
Literally.
are like OD, especially because when we got Chris Scott, I know he had done like the Step Up movies
right.
and things like that, and I never really got to do a hip hop challenge.
Yeah.
But I knew that he knew, like he had worked with hip hop dancers before, and he's worked with like some of the best at like certain hip hop styles. So I also felt like a pressure there of like he knows like quality in certain things, like as far as like certain freestyle aspects or just whatever it may be, like foundation in certain things. So it was definitely, I feel like, also an extra pressure there because it's like he knows what quality it could be.
I didn't think of that. Yeah. I barely remember this week. It's like such a blur.
Yo, right?
Like it's such a blur.
I feel like for me also, my brain started to black that week out because like that was the week I got eliminated.
Yeah.
So like
No. Yeah.
yeah,
for real.
like leading up to it, like I don't know, it was just so tense. Like I feel like every week was tense, but like just even that week specifically, it felt tense. Just I don't know, because it was like a weird midpoint.
Yeah.
Also, like I'm like, okay, there's 6 of us left going into this. This is like a weird
I feel
point.
like the energy shifted.
It did, yeah.
In all of us, like
yeah.
I feel like we all kind of started getting tired.
Mentally, yeah.
Mentally, like
Yes, like just because I mean the hours, were wild. Like, it was like,
literally
wake up 6:30,
insane.
7, end at 10. I'm DoorDash and Wingstop.
Do you remember literally like, the first week they filmed you like cooking for us?
Yes,
for the boys.
yes,
And then we never got to eat it.
bro. Facts. They had me cook for like, and it was like, yo, we gotta
They
hurry
filmed
it
you
up.
for a while.
Yeah, because I told him, I was like, it's gonna take a minute, low key.
Yeah, you were
I
like,
was
"Oh,
like,
I gotta actually
was
cook
like,
it."
because it's 3 people. I'm like, I can't undercook like raw meat and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But then it was like, no, like we gotta go, like we gotta
And
go
they had
now.
you dancing like
I know. I'm
cooking,
like, y'all about to make me burn it. Look.
but like we had to actually eat it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like just a fake scene. Like
Yeah,
that was our
facts.
food.
There was like, y'all gonna be able to eat his stuff. But then as soon as I finished, it was like, y'all gotta get in the car.
We gotta go.
They said, y'all gotta wrap it up. I said, well, yeah, we were cooked.
We had
But-
some funny like random moments together.
Yes,
like,
I know. I literally always tell people too. Like sometimes when people ask me, be like, "Oh, who is somebody you like got close with on the show?" I was like, I wasn't expecting like
yeah.
me. I was like, yo, Easton is like super cool. Like, I feel like I don't know what I was expecting. I guess to be closer to I don't know who, but like
Yeah.
I just like.
We're
Maybe
just-
it's because different style or like
Yeah.
whatever. I was
we
like,
come from different worlds. And, like,
yeah,
we've never met. Like I knew
Right.
some of them before. Like I don't know, it
exactly.
was like unexpected.
It might have been that I was like, I know that you already knew people, and that's not
Yeah.
to say that like you wouldn't branch out.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting to be like, yo, like he's actually like OD cool. Like everybody was pretty cool though.
No,
Like
yeah,
nobody
we
was.
bonded for sure.
Yeah, I was like nobody was weird or anything,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was just like I was like, oh, Easton for sure was somebody. I was like, yo,
Even like when we were going like thrifting and stuff.
yeah. I also just felt like you're one of the people where it's like, you felt like you were in it with, you like we're in it together type thing, rather than like it didn't feel like competitive. Like we
I
were just
agree.
like all trying to go for
Yeah.
our stuff, but I feel like you always had like an authentic or a genuine intention, which helped in that show a lot because
Yeah.
it was just there's so many like nuances to like all the weeks, just even
Yes.
but even this movie week, I was like,
especially
bruh.
this week.
I think that's probably also why I got closer to you is that movie week when we had to work together, because like there's so many different, everybody handles situations differently. You were very like comforting, and everyone was like, oh, we all stressed, like we gonna get it, rather than like,
No, yeah, we
you know
had
what I'm
each other
saying?
for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
I
like,
feel like that week,
a lot of this week wasn't even like about the dancing. It was a lot about just like other aspects and also the prop and like
the prop, because we also didn't get the couch. We didn't have it the whole time. Like we got it late.
This was like a whole situation.
Yeah, that ended up being like a thing, because it's like, the other group was able to practice with some of their stuff from like the first day. We didn't have the couch till what? Because we filmed on Thursdays for that, right? And then we had the actual live show on Fridays. So we had rehearsal Monday through Wednesday. And I think we might have not got that couch until like maybe it was late Tuesday,
either like late Tuesday
or early Wednesday.
Yeah,
because it was like, it might have been Wednesday though, because I remember thinking like, we got to do this tomorrow,
because we were using like this other like table as,
couch.
Like,
because
it wasn't
like, because also it's like, because also we didn't have that table. There were so many.
Well, and then when we finally got the couch, it was like all the pillows and everything was like falling apart.
That's what made it stressful, because like we would tip it, but then it was just pillows everywhere. And
because there's a scene where we're supposed to like jump on it and tip it over.
And then roll.
But it was falling apart, so they had to like take like 2 hours like to literally like tape it and like staple it. They were trying to, like, staple it together.
But then the staples was cutting people.
It didn't work. So it, like, and I remember even Chris was getting upset because he was like, this is cutting out like 2 hours of a rehearsal. Like,
right.
The other group is getting like way longer.
Right. Because like that's a big part. That's like the biggest moment, because it's also, that shows a shift in the dynamic in the piece, is when we tip it and the camera turns. That's a whole moment. So it's like, if we're not practicing the biggest moment until the day before.
No, it was the most like important part.
It's like, bro, like we can have the dance stuff down, but it's like, even the table, like we couldn't practice the exact like turn or whatever it was on that, because it wasn't the right size. The one we were practicing on,
it was so different.
And then it's like, even like you said with the couch, also not only was the pillows falling off, they had to reinforce it, because one of the times we tipped, it didn't like crack. It was just like, I was, you might have to take this couch out. Because I'm like,
bro. There was a lot of that like that week in rehearsals, we were just standing there like waiting.
It was a
just,
lot
like,
of wait.
Figuring out the couch, like not even dancing. Like,
right, because a lot of it they had to talk to Chris about, and like, bro, bless him, because he probably had to be so stressed, because also it's not only, I know for them too, this is a reflection of them, like it's a reflection of their work, so they don't want it to look like, half put together or anything like that. So I was feeling for him too, because I'm like, like he knows he wants this to be, to a certain standard, but we can't even get to that point if we don't have the prop to do it with.
Right.
We tried it with it breaking. So we were nervous to try it again, because like they had fixed it numerous times, but it wasn't fixed. So it's like, even then it's like, like we're going, but is it gonna?
And then just the idea of knowing like, if we keep practicing, is it gonna break again, and then it's gonna cut into our rehearsal time, like
exactly,
which we didn't want to happen. Like we wanted to keep rehearsing to like, because we were fully doing it the next day.
And there was some parts that like, if one person cooked it, it's cooked. Like all the threading and all that. If
that's the other thing, we had full on like threading, which none of us have. Have you done that before?
Like I had never done threading combos. Like sometimes in freestyle, there's certain threads I would do, but not
3 people.
Nah, 3 is insane.
Like none of us have done that before.
Like even that's why even the contemporary, the first week when we did contemporary, we had got I had got Philip and Mackenzie. I went to go look at some of their stuff on Instagram that night, and I saw all the threads and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm cooked.
With the partnering.
I was like, but luckily I didn't really have too many of the thread parts. I know Braylon and Avery killed that part though, but I was like, that's those sort of things. Like that's why when there's dance jobs, the rehearsals for certain things are like weeks.
That's the thing. Like normally if you're learning threading for the first time, you don't have only 3 days.
Right. Exactly. It's like, I feel like that's another reason why the show kind of was stressful on certain points. Is it's like, yes, I feel like a lot of us had done professional work before the show, but like, most jobs, you're not gonna, like the movie, that would have been a month-long rehearsal process. You know what I'm saying? We did that in 2-3 days. So like that's also very stressful because it's like not only do you have to like have all the details, but you also have to execute it and perform. And you know, because it's like it's a group thing too, because if you mess up, then the whole shot's cooked.
So much more goes into it than like what people like assume or see on like the episode, like, because also they cut those rehearsals on the show like, to maybe 5 minutes, but like,
them joints was long,
way longer,
and like, I mean, how did you feel going into the actual shoot day of that week, like as far as getting there and like us having the couch, like what were you thinking?
I feel like we felt pretty confident in like the choreo itself. I think we were just like, it's not really up to us or like in our control of like how this couch is gonna go.
Right.
Also, we don't know the floor. Like, it might feel different.
Right.
The set was smaller. I remember.
Right.
It was way smaller than we thought. So I think there was just like other factors that we were like, it might not even be our fault if something goes wrong.
Right. And we just had to execute it because they also were looking at professionalism.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and another added stress part, I think, was like on this show, a lot of the times I was thinking, yo, I want to look reliable because I know choreographers and stuff watch this. So I don't want to look like chopped. Yeah. And then also the week before, I was kind of being portrayed as like being goofy in rehearsal. So I was like, okay, this week, I'm just going to like ultimately lock in so that I don't come off as somebody that like goofs off in rehearsal.
Yeah, which I noticed that I rewatched the episodes like for each podcast episode, and I noticed that in the Broadway week, like, which is interesting because that's like what So You Think You Could Dance is about, like personality, and like that's like a huge factor in it, in the competition as well, and like getting to know you, and like you fully just like were yourself on the show and like gave everything you had, and like you were just being yourself, and also like not in a disruptive way.
Right. Yeah. Like
rewatching the episode back, I was like, that's kind of weird.
No, it was crazy work. Cause like for me also, I think going back and watching, I kind of like almost felt like they portrayed me to lead with my personality before my dance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like more so my personality was highlighted than my actual dance ability, which sometimes is just like, dang, like I feel like I never truly really got to show everything.
I agree.
But I mean, yeah, like even that week before, like the week where they were saying I was goofy, I was like, yo, all the times that they were showing I was being goofy was during a water break or whenever we were working with somebody else, or like maybe Al would make a joke to me and I would make like a joke back, and then we get right back to it. But like, yo, it made it look like I was like the whole rehearsal.
Because then they cut out the dancing,
right,
and just show that. And
yo,
I was
like I'm saying,
like clearly you were like you would go back to dancing when the dancing would start.
Right, I'm like, yo, like in that week I was super locked in, like, and I remember some people were like, oh yeah, like you really like got to Broadway this week. Like, why is that? Like, why am I trying? Like, it was just confused. Yeah. Like, yo, like why am I trying? It's like, yo. That's where I'm talking about leading with. I feel like they led with my personality before my dance, because I'm like, they could have showed how I was executing the Broadway, but instead they decided to show that I was goofing off. So it was just like, with that being the week before and me kind of like feeling like, I want to make sure I look locked in. Like I was trying to be like super locked in that next week. And I feel like I was, but it was so many different like things, like even for example with the table, right? When we had choreographed that, where I was like you were holding me and we were just going around, right?
The little like turn.
Like that wasn't okay. Whenever we were watching and Allison was like, "Oh, that attitude or arabesque leg, whichever one needs to like be correct," I was like, "Oh, it definitely looks like it's supposed to be that." But that's not what.
That's not even.
What it was. So
it
like,
wasn't even supposed to be technique.
Exactly. That's why I was like, bro, I'm getting knocked off on points for like stuff that it wasn't even supposed to be. But I can understand why it looked that way.
Yeah.
But even I feel like some of that comes to like, we didn't have the table. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to even try the whole time and stuff. But I'm like, yeah, that was just supposed to be on one leg and one leg out. Like
it wasn't like more of like just a picture. That was like moving.
Exactly. It wasn't even supposed to be like.
It wasn't technique.
It wasn't. So
I noticed that watching it today. I was like, wait, they did you dirty
yeah,
on that?
I'm
that's
like,
not even what it was supposed
right,
to be.
It wasn't even technique. But now also when people watch that, they're gonna be like, oh, his technique's even more chopped than we thought. When it's like, bro, I promise, like if it was supposed to be that, I would have like honed in extra to make sure it looked like that.
Right.
Rather than just like, it was like, yo, one leg out, have one arm, go, da da da. It wasn't like, make sure this is a arabesque or attitude leg.
Yeah.
It's if that, because you know what I'm saying. So it was certain things that also feel like weren't really maybe communicated the best, because like also that could have been asked like, yo, is that supposed to be an attitude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than like assuming, but at the same time I understand what it looked like. So
and it was hard because we were never able to like give our side of things like on stage. Like we're just supposed to nod our heads and say like, okay, thank you. Like
yeah, because also, you know, obviously in dance and especially with judging, there's facts, obviously, right? You should have foundation and things like that, but everything to a point is like subjective, which why I would feel like honestly it felt hard like this season specifically for me, because there was a hip-hop judge for the audition, right? Comfort was there for the audition,
right?
But the actual show, there was no hip-hop judge.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's not to say that none of the judges have done hip-hop, but there's a difference in like doing it and then knowing the foundation. Like, so I feel like a lot of that week they were on me about my technique as far as contemporary. But the thing that was tough was like, hip hop has technique, like it has foundation, like
it's its own technique.
I think they view hip hop more as like, when you're doing hip hop, you just need to be, you have to have, you know, big energy and you need to be clean, but it's like there's technique, like there's an up bounce, there's a down bounce, you know, there's a double bounce, there's rock, there's wave, there's roll, there's ticking, there's stomp, there's all these different things that like it's the same thing as contemporary. You can't just wake up and do it. You have to practice it.
No,
but it's just
so
like
true.
It's like, yo, that also has a technique and a foundation. Like people can't like, because you know there's other street styles that take time, like house has a jack and it has all of these different variations of footwork. Popping, like you can't wake up and pop, like you have to sit and train your muscles to pop. One of the critiques I got was I didn't take advantage of my solo moments or something in the music video or the movie. So I didn't take advantage of my I didn't take advantage of my solo moments in the movie. He was saying I didn't take advantage of it and like I should have done more, but I'm like, yo, everything solo wise that I did in that was choreographed.
Right.
So I couldn't I couldn't jump out of what was given to me. Like we had tuts in there, we had different sort of threads and like even moves from like electro and stuff like that I'm like, if you know hip hop or subgenres to hip hop and other street styles, you would know that like that's a whole like section.
Especially,
you know what I'm saying?
for movie week,
right?
It's on camera,
right?
It's close up, so on camera you could see those techniques and you know details,
right?
Which like if it was a stage challenge or maybe a ballet audition, like or challenge, it'd be different.
Exactly. Yeah, it would be like
in this challenge, like specifically movie week, like it works.
Yeah, that's what
was
saying.
Given to you.
Yeah, I'm like, there's nothing I could have done outside of what was given to me, and I thought what was given to me was fire.
I didn't like that, like the kind of like overall like note you had was you don't have technique, because you do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't have.
It's just different from maybe what I have.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like you're saying,
and I don't have your technique.
I'm like, yeah, it's like so everybody's in their own lane. I'm
exactly.
like, you're saying I don't have technique, which as far as jazz and ballet and all that, oh yeah, my joint's cooked. Like I need to, that's something I would work on, like, or should work on. But like, that's not also exactly what I'm trying to do in the industry. Right. Y'all are talking about my technique, which like I understand in jazz and things like that. Yes, it does need work, but like for example, you pointed out, one of the judges had pointed out how I didn't do an arabesque or attitude leg, but then you didn't point out the technique I did in the other parts that Chris put in. Yeah. Because it's not viewed as technique. It's just viewed as like, oh, he's just doing, you know, some waving or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, no, like this stuff takes practice. Like this is a whole art form as well.
Especially this new season being an industry format. Right. The industry has all different types of dancers. Yes. When you move to LA, we're not all the same. Like,
right.
There's so many different styles and different types of dancers.
Exactly. And it's like, you can't expect everybody. There are some crazy dancers that have all, like, you have trained in a whole bunch of techniques, right? But it's like, specifically, they're going to be like, oh, I want a crumper.
Mm-hmm.
Crump takes technique. You're not just going to cast somebody and be like, oh, well, you know, because also then you're disrespecting the culture to an extent, right? It's like, also, I feel like a lot of hip hop and stuff is overlooked, but it's a whole culture. Like this, like it's Black and Latino culture. Like this is a whole dance style that like people made, and I feel like now hip hop gets desensitized a lot because it's very commercialized.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, the same way that there's like native dances like Bali and stuff like that, or you know, dances that go to certain ethnic groups. I'm like, hip hop is the same. It's like, it stems from, you know, it was made by Black and brown people in New York. So it's like the fact that it gets desensitized a lot nowadays too. I'm like, yo, like this is a whole art form. And that even goes back to the audition for me. Cause like, even in the audition, like the first rounds, we didn't do any other style in the audition except for like jazz.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the duo piece still wasn't hip hop or anything. Like it had hip hop moments. Like it had, or the jazz piece had like a locking moment in it, but it wasn't.
It was majority.
It was majority jazz and like technique.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the comments they had made was, he can't do choreography, but he puts himself in it. But I'm like,
interesting.
I'm like, yo, like we didn't do any other styles except for technical styles. You know what I'm saying? So just because I couldn't do jazz to the best of my abilities, doesn't mean I wouldn't be able to pick up a hip hop piece.
And that's, again, I feel like them trying to like create that storyline of, oh, but the personality, like he's putting the personality first, when it's like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So that I was kind of like, bruh, like when they said that, because also for me, it's like, I know I want to do work obviously after the show, but if you're saying I can't do choreography, nobody's going to want to book me for anything, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was something that was definitely tough to see, but then I just had to like keep it pushing.
Yeah, I feel like your style was just like unappreciated in a way, especially even like in your Fight for Your Life solo. Like, I feel like they wanted, like, they watched it and they said like something in the lines of like, we wish he like used more of his body or like more of the stage or something, which like,
or dance bigger.
I don't know, it like
I
watched it and I was like, that's something like I could never do. Like so entertaining to me, and like it's just a different thing.
Yeah, like I definitely feel like for sure some of their critiques I definitely could have like applied. Like I think I definitely could have probably moved around the stage a little more. But like as far as them saying like, oh, he should have danced bigger or he should have done da-da-da, I was like, well, my style is a mix of like hip hop, freestyle, and animation. Animation is a lot of like intricate things. It's like, so I was like,
that's like them if they told me that they want to see more animation in my solo. It's not what I have to offer. Yeah. Or I can't do that.
Right. And so it's like, again, it just feel like,
it's like the same thing.
Yeah. It's like, I felt like even if there's nobody there that would have been like, oh, but he was doing this, like polyrhythms, right? That's where you hold one rhythm. So say like you're bouncing and then you're hitting a different rhythm with your arms or something, right? You would just think I'm just doing hip hop, like you would just think I'm just dancing. But if somebody knows hip hop, they would be like, oh, he's doing polyrhythms, or he did a double bounce that had an up bounce in his shoulders, like things like that. Where it's like, if you know hip hop foundation or you know those things, I think more parts of the dance would be appreciated. Like even for me, like I can't look at like certain other styles. Like I wouldn't know what is crazy. Like I'll just be like, I can see movement quality, obviously, right? Like I can look at a certain dance and be like, yo, like they're moving, but I wouldn't be able to be like, yo, that switch tilt was insane. Like I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know. But that's why also, if somebody asked me to judge a contemporary thing, I'd be like, you don't want me for that. You know what I'm saying? Or like, if you're going to have, especially with this being an industry series, I was like, a lot of jobs, like, I feel like a predominant part of the industry is hip hop.
Oh, 100%.
So I'm like, to not have a hip hop judge.
That's so true, actually.
I thought was like kind of crazy, because I'm like, yo, like most jobs you see at the Grammys, people dance behind Doechii and stuff like that, or doing whatever, most of it has a lot of hip hop in it, or most of it is hip hop tours, all that stuff.
Even someone like a Chris Scott would have been
exactly,
a great, add on to the
or
judge.
Luther Brown. I'm like, they could have added.
Not even saying to replace, just to
add. I was like, I don't think anybody should have been off the panel.
Yeah.
I just think that there should have been a representation for all styles, because I'm like,
that's so
if you're gonna have a style there, right? It's like, and I see probably how some of the other dancers felt in other seasons, like tap dancers and stuff. When they went in, I feel like a lot of times they probably feel like, dang, like people don't really know what I'm doing too much. Because again, that's not to say that judges haven't done those styles, but one, it's like doing it and then being knowledgeable in it, two different things. So I just felt like I already felt defeated, because also in that week when I went home, I was like, I'm going against two contemporary dancers, and everybody on the show was crazy, like a crazy quality dancer. So I'm like, bro, Mariah and Dakayla, like, they're gonna go crazy in their bag. So I was like,
but that's another thing, like, you also went crazy, just in a different perspective or a different style, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It was interesting to like hear you say that, and like the way you explained it.
Yeah, like I low-key already felt defeated a little bit, because I was like, yo, I feel like if what they thought, because I was thinking about it like this too, right? If they thought what I did in the music video with like the threads and tutting and all that and the ticks, if they thought that wasn't cool or they didn't like it, I'm like, bro, like my solo's gonna be
you're like, that's
similar.
Who I am, that's what I do.
I'm like, my solo's gonna be similar. So I already kind of felt defeated, because I was like, bro, if they didn't like that, like they didn't appreciate it. Because also there was a comment made on the show on the somebody had said something about they didn't know Anthony could be super pop locky, right? And that also showed me a lot, like dance knowledge wise, because when people say like, oh, do you do pop locking? That's not a style. So there's like popping and then there's locking, right? They're two different styles.
Right.
And also Anthony, in a certain part, he was doing a style of popping kind of that Jamal put in, that's called puppet, where like the goal is to look kind of like a puppet, but he was doing puppet. But when that judge had said that he looked super pop locky, I was like, that kind of shows like I'm at a huge disadvantage here, because if you were to say somebody says that and then one of the other judges affirmed like, oh yeah, no, like that's the right terminology, it's not. But like then you're going into it, you know what I'm saying? That's no hate, because this is not common knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to actually do the research. It's the same thing where like if somebody did like a whole bunch of different ballet things, I'm like, I know what a tendu is. After that they start sounding like Starbucks drinks. So I'm like, for me, I know that it's not common knowledge for somebody to be like, that's a combination for ballet. I would have to do my research and be like, this is that is this, da 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 da. So that's no hate or anything.
Well, I also feel like if you were, let's say, in a past season with the duets and the old format, I feel like for the hip hop dancers, they were able to showcase them more in the duets, and like
exactly.
Even if it was a contemporary dance, I feel like the b-boys were still like doing their stuff in the contemporary piece, and they were able to showcase themselves more, like rather than us being like a group piece challenge type of setting.
Exactly.
It was harder to do. Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was tough, but I think I learned a lot. And I think it also pushed me being able to dance with y'all, because I'm like, yo, I know the level that you and Madison were at. So I'm like, yo, when I was there, I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to pull up, because like y'all are some of the toughest. So I was like, yeah, I definitely grew, but it was
you killed it.
Thank you. No, YouTube, but that week was stressful.
Yeah, and that like even like everything you just said, like having all that, like knowing that and like having that in your head of like they're not like really respecting like what I do. Right. That's just so draining. Yeah. And like it's in its own. Yeah. And so frustrating, and like that probably took such like a toll on you, like that throughout that whole week. Yeah. Just kind of knowing that like whatever you do, like even if it's your best, like they might not even just like not respect it, but
right. But yeah, even just know like to the extent of what I could be doing. Yeah. And I feel like it was tough also hearing like the next week that it was like hip hop and it was the tour week. I was like,
you would have,
bro, I was like, there's no way.
We were all saying that the next week. We were like, this literally would have been perfect for Jaylin.
I'm saying, I was like,
the
bro,
hip hop piece we did.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, that's so cool. T-Pain too. I was like, bro, no.
Oh, yeah, for real.
But y'all did also the Kyle Hanagami piece that week too. Ooh, I know it had to be stressful too.
Yeah. Do you remember we had an interview, the two of us?
Yeah.
And I might be making this up in my head, but did they ask us to like compare ourselves?
Yes, they were like, oh, like Jaylin, like what do you think you could, like Easton can do, that you can, and like vice versa.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like,
or something like, what can Easton teach you?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like,
yeah, they were like, what can, like, they were trying to do the thing where it's like you guys could both pull from each other, like use what.
Yes. Oh
yeah. It's like what from Easton do you feel like you need, and then they were asking what from you. I feel like there's so many times where they want us to be like, man, I'm doing me. I don't need. Bro, I'm like, bro, if I could move like Easton, I wouldn't be.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I would be like doing that everywhere. I would be in
we said we were like, mix the two of us, we'd be like, yeah, unstoppable.
Bro. I was like, yeah, they should have had us do a duo or something, bro. Because I'm like, man, no. But I think, yeah, it was a lot of stuff where I think they just were trying, it's still reality TV at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I think there was times where they wanted people to be like, no, man, like, I got me, all da. But I'm like, nah, like, Easton is him. Like, that's Himothy. Like, come on now. So yeah,
that was funny. We did an interview together.
Yeah,
they never really had us do interviews together. Like,
never.
The cast.
Yeah, it was strange. I was like, yo, they that's
sat us down
point.
And I was like, this is interesting because they never do this.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
But I also felt a lot that week they were honing in on my lack of technique, because even from the first day they were like, oh, like, why do you have that ball and why are you stretching? I was like, oh, I've been getting.
I remember
critiques.
this.
Yeah, I was like, I've been getting critiques to, I need to like loosen up or be wide in my range, so I'm just trying to work on it.
Oh yeah.
But that whole week, a lot of my interviews was like, so how do you feel about the technique in the piece? How do you So I think also they might have been playing into that, like, oh, so what can you pull from Easton?
Well, that's like, another thing is, I remember that week you were really taking, like, they told you to stretch out and like loosen up your upper body, and you were doing that, like, in between rehearsals, before and after, during lunch, and you were even asking like me and Madison, like, what can I do to like fix this technique part, or like, like you were really putting in the effort.
I was trying, because I was like, bro,
I just feel like they didn't see it, which was so
I felt so goofy though, because like they filmed me and they showed part of it and were like showing how I was doing extra, but then that was also the week I got eliminated. So it kind of just made it look like, oh, well, it wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what made it feel like chopped to me. It was like, oh, dang, like they're showing me do all this extra stuff, which I really was doing. There's only so much you would be able to really like grow from in that short amount of time. It was 3 days.
Yeah, literally.
So like, but yeah, again, that's also on me. It's like, I can't go into So You Think not knowing I'm going to do other styles, right? Yeah. But like, I was more so thinking of it was going to be the duo format, in which I know a lot of the choreographers don't like, they're not going to tell me to do like 4 pirouettes and then a switch or something into like a split. They work with you, you know what I mean? And like work with what they're still going to push you, and it's still going to be hard. But like, I was more so thinking like, yo, like, okay, they're going to work with what I have. So like, I'm not going to have to do anything like OD. But then no, we got put in the industry challenges, so it was like, but again, I think it was a good push, and I learned a lot from it. So yeah,
well, and even the first music video week, like, they had me in the hip hop piece and you.
I was gonna say, I was like, yo,
that's like, I was like, oh, they're really playing with us.
I see what they doing, but like after, I was low-key pressed, because I was like, dang. Even in the audition, the only hip hop I got to do was my audition solo. Yeah. So I still felt like I still like hadn't got to show what I was able to do.
And then even the Broadway week, it was Broadway technique, but your piece had like a lot of technique. Like, I remember it had like turns and leaps and stuff. Mine didn't. It was more of like a grounded, like, we had boots on. Yeah. It was very different, and like, again,
and your pants split.
And my again, I was putting that one and you were putting the technique one. Like, it was weird the way everything played out. Like,
but I feel like even that week, which was crazy, was like they brushed over my like that I did it. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, they just more so was like, yeah, great facials. Yeah. But I was like, bro, like, y'all moving past like We had to do all
and
types
the
of
floor
jumps.
work you guys had and
yeah,
stuff.
I was like, bro, like I was drilling that. Like, I feel like they just moved past it. But again, it's like they focus on different things for each people each week, obviously.
Yeah.
But I really like loved that Broadway piece that y'all did. I was like,
it actually, because we were stressed about it, and it was actually like one of my favorite pieces.
No, yeah, like your ability to storytell and like do your movement, I was like, bruh, you got it, bruh. I was like, yeah, no.
Also, when when the judges watched our piece,
yes,
so they like watched it live for like a few hours when we were filming it, but then we went on stage for like on Friday,
right?
And they kind of watched like the edit they made of it.
Yes.
And I remember I was like upset when I watched it because they didn't have time. Like the turnaround was like only one day for them to edit it.
So it wasn't the full.
It wasn't the full thing yet.
Yeah.
But for the judges, they didn't see any of the like green screen stuff me and Madison did.
Exactly.
So me and Madison had all this acting stuff in the beginning that was on the screen.
Right.
But they didn't put it on yet.
That didn't even show a clip of it.
For my note from the judges, they wanted to see my acting and like my personality.
Yeah.
So when I watched it, watching their reactions, they didn't see any of the acting. I was so upset because I was like, dang it, like all they saw was like the technique.
Right. Which they knew that you had that.
They didn't care about that for me. They wanted to see the acting. And
you're right.
So I was so frustrated. And they didn't like, you couldn't tell in the episode because it ended up being the full edit.
Right.
But like, on the actual day, I was like, shoot, they didn't see any of it, any of the green screen stuff we did.
But I think that's what's good is I don't know if they were watching, because I know they didn't watch all of our process. Like they left, but maybe they were there. Did you get a critique on the stage about your acting again that week?
No, I got lucky. I got like randomly lucky.
Okay, I think, but it might have also been because they watched it whenever they were on set. But that
I was waiting for them to say something though. I was like,
yo, that would be
also another thing, which actually ended up being in the final edit too. So I did this thing on the couch. I'm standing on the couch and I jump to like the table. Yes. And then I jump off of it to match you guys with the choreo.
Right.
There was one take I didn't make it on the table.
Don't tell me that's the take.
That's the take they used.
That's crazy.
And I was so upset. Like,
yo,
when they showed it to the judges on Friday, I was like, I did it. We probably filmed that take from the couch because of the camera stuff. Like they filmed it so many times. I was like, we probably did that at least 15.
It was over 10.
There was one time I messed up,
and that's the one they put in.
And they used that.
But I'm not slick with that, yo. Because I'm
go
like,
back and rewatch it after this. Yeah, you'll see me like kind of slip,
bro. Like, see, it's crazy work because I get like, it's crazy because they can frame something to make it look like something it's not. Like, yo, even in the audition week, when we had to do the jazz piece, right? Not to mention, like, we learned it kind of quick, and then they put us in the back room without the music for like an hour. You remember that?
Yeah.
So like we couldn't run it with the music, so we're just doing with the counts. But I remember I went and we did it twice, right? One of the times, like, okay, obviously didn't have it like perfect, but like I remembered it. And still did it to the best of my ability and try to change some stuff to make it like, you know, for like me, because I was like, I don't want to look super chopped. I'm gonna try to still perform it. Yeah. But I did it one time, right? I did it perfectly, like, okay, like, you know what I mean? I didn't do it perfectly technique wise, but I did it like
you did it.
Yeah. I did it. And then the next piece, I don't know if you remember, but like at the end of the jazz piece, it's like we had to do like a pirouette or something, and then you had like a freestyle for an 8, and then you posed, right? On the second time I did the jazz piece, I missed the pirouette, but then they zoomed in on me when I was freestyling to make it look like I was freestyling because I forgot the piece.
Oh, weird.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They made it look like because they zoomed in and it was like, oh, they looked like I was freestyle because I forgot the pirouette. But I was like, yo, there was a take where I did it, bruh. Where like I did it, but then they cut it and put that one. So like that reminds me of that because I'm like, yo, they be trying to be selective with the joint. I'm like, now y'all know Easton had 20 other takes where,
and I know that's like how the real world works. Like they might end up using a take that isn't your best, but also like they know what they're doing.
Exactly,
like,
especially in a space where we're being judged on all those little things. Yeah, it's like y'all could use, especially with the ones they're showing to the judges. Lock in. But again, I feel like I still got a lot out of it. I was so happy to meet y'all and get close to everybody on the show, but I was like, dang, I at least wanted to do like one more solo.
Yeah,
I wanted to do one more
just to showcase yourself more on the show.
Because I didn't like that one.
I wanted to see you dance more.
Yeah, but
I felt the same way.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? It's all good. Everything happens for a reason, so I'm not tripping.
And you're killing it now.
Thank you. You too,
killing
man.
it.
So
my neighbor.
Hey, dude, thanks. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Of course, thanks for having me. Yes.
Fun little reunion.
Indeed.
Thank you, and we'll see you guys next episode.
Peace.